Hi, my name's Cheri. Happy Memorial Day weekend for those of you in the United States. I am just popping over. It's our Facebook Live event. So we have 6 hours, it's usually close to 7 hours of stamping that we're doing on Facebook. I have completed my session. So we each take 1 hour, and then today we're having a parade of cards, which is all of the cards that we couldn't fit that we've already all made that aren't being demonstrated today. So there are 6 of us. There will be probably over 100 cards that we show off today. So my part's done, and then we all hop back on and are on together in the evening. Oh, something in my eye. The windows are open. It's allergies. So my part's done. So what I'm going to try to do in between a little bit of the other girls going live is I'm going to hop on here, and before I clean all of this stuff up, because when I do Facebook Lives, it's a little bit different than when I do a YouTube video, and everything's still on my table. And so before I clean it up, I thought that I could get on here and record these so you guys will be able to see them over the weekend. Because for me to get 3 of my cards and all the Facebook chit chat that I got on, in an hour, they're all quick cards, but you're gonna love them. So come back on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know I told you there would be no videos, but I was joking because I didn't think about the fact that I would have these to post for you. So today's card is super fast, as will be Sunday or Saturday, and I'm not sure if I'll post the next one on Sunday or Monday, but there will be one. So look forward to those. All of them super fast, but you will love them all. And there's some fun tips in all of them. But if you don't have your copy of the catalog yet, then all you have to do is place an order, and I will be going to the post office on Tuesday. So anybody who orders over the weekend, any size order, then you will get one of these in the mail. And it does have some samples in it. You'll just get a little piece of all of the in colors and some designer series paper, just a little bit, so you can see. The ones that have been going out are going to have to switch because I'm running low on those. We can only order so much, and I keep using them. So in fact, my daughter is also a demonstrator, and she doesn't do as much as I do. So she's ordered some stuff for me today because I'm using up my stuff. So, and I did want to remind you, I have 2 upcoming events, and this one has a video. And you're going to want to do this one. It is, instead of doing a Try It Club this year where you get a bunch of stuff and it's small amounts, so small quantities and small pieces of paper, and then you do it again the next year, and you do it again the next year, and then when you get it and you put it all up and you're like, there's 3 years of it. This year I'm doing a Try It card class instead of a club. So this year you are going to get supplies out of the 10 different papers that we have. There's 10 new papers, and you will make a card. So you'll get to see enough of the stuff in each card. Will have some new ribbon, a new designer series paper, a new embellishment, and then a template. So you'll be able to complete it at your house with any sentiment that you have. So you'll need to provide your own stamps and either a punch, or you can cut it out. There's a whole video that explains it. Plus then you also get my PDF template, which you can use forever with any designer series paper. So this is the one, this will actually be one. You might not get the exact same piece of Forever Fern paper, because what happens is when I have 50 people do something, I can't give you all the same piece, but everybody gets a little bit of the same. So this, you'll get the new jade and some new ribbon, and you can see the new embellishments. So you'll want to sign up for that. I think it's a much more easy way, and then you'll get the private videos, and in the video I will show you the full sheets of the card of the papers. So then you can decide, do I love the Forever Fern? And if you do, you can get that, and instead of 5 years from now seeing all those 6x6 or 4x6 or however the paper share was that you've done in the past still sitting there, because even though it was a small amount, you didn't love it and you didn't use it. And the same for the card that I'm using today. It's the map pieces are full 12 by 12. So when you cut it down into a paper share, somebody's gonna get a piece that's not really usable. So the way I've done today's card, however I do it in the card class, it'll be usable. And then you can decide when you see the whole sheets when I show you in your video. And the videos for the class will be private, and you'll get a link to it on YouTube or Facebook, whichever is your preference. And then you can decide if that floats your boat and if you want to order it. And so it's a different way. I'm going to try it this year and see if you guys like it. But there are limited quantities available because I can't order a bajillion of everything. And you also have to sign up by June 1st. So I can order on June 3rd and I'm going to pay the expedited shipping so we don't get stuck in the forever long ship line. So you're going to get your stuff a little bit faster than you might otherwise. But I am going to cut it off because I can't leave it open and not know how many people are going to participate. So it is already filling. So if you're interested, hop on that video. I'll go ahead and put the link under this video as well. Or if you're on Facebook, it's on my events and it's on my classes. And then there's a whole, on any blog post going from that point forward until it closes, there's information. But today I'm doing A Beautiful World. I've already used it once. Where's the card that I've made? Here it is. I've still got piles from my Facebook Live. So here's the one I did before. It has a beautiful, beautiful paper. So here's a piece that you could cut up, but a lot of it are whole 12 by 12 sheets of map. So this is the one I've already done. So let me aim the camera down and then we'll get going on today's card super quick. And we're returning one of my favorite products that we've lost in the last couple of years. I'm so glad it's coming back, and you will be too when you see how easy it is to use, especially if you've never used it before. So you're gonna love it. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna use our new Midnight, and I did do one for Facebook, and I've used the Cinnamon, so you're gonna see it with a different color at the end. And then here is some of the paper, and again, this was a 12 by 12 sheet. So it has the brass highlights, but I'm going to use gold because I don't have my brass foil. It's coming. It's going to be here this week, and I'm going to get the sunflower set. Some of you asked me why I haven't done anything with the sunflower, and at first I was like, the sunflower, but some of my friends have done some super cool stuff with the sunflower, so I went ahead and got it, but I didn't order it right off the bat because I wasn't quite sure about it. And I thought I had enough, but I've used all of this stuff a lot now, so I'm ready to move on to some new things. So here's this piece. The back's pretty too. It's a really crumb cake piece of neutral with some map kind of words on it. So just fold this in half. And then because I don't have the brass, I'm doing the same thing I did before. So this is gold foil. And then the returning product that we have, I've already done it. I did it on my Facebook Live and I did the whole sheet, and I shouldn't have done that. Are our sticker sheets. So we've had them in the past. You just pull a whole piece off and then you stick it on. So that's already done. And when the new stuff comes out, or I may even I have an idea with the fern card. So come back next week, I'll do a fern card and you can see me do it on there. So you just put the sticker, pull it off, put it on. And so now this piece has some sticker on it and it's on the gold foil. And then I have a piece of window sheet. So I'm gonna do this first, cross our fingers that it works. It is so muggy, and I should have done this before I started filming because it is humid as anything here in Indiana this weekend. And I live 5 minutes from the Motor Speedway where there is no racing this weekend. It's, and I've always lived close to the track, except when I lived in Australia. But my whole life, May in Indiana is racing. So it's a little bit weird here this weekend. Like we live like one street over from being Speedway. So this is our StazOn, but it's muggy. So I'm gonna hope that this dries. So this is our StazOn pad, which is flash drying, unless it's May in Indiana, or June, or July, or August. By September, we'll be back to where it's not muggy. We don't have the air conditioning on, that would help. But it's just muggy right now, it's not hot. So I'm just going to stamp these words down here in the corner of the window sheet. And it says, you make the world a better place. And flash drying, it should dry. Well, it's going to take a minute, so I'm going to do all the rest of the card. And I'm going to help flash it. Give it a little, but you can see it's wet. But this is an ink that you can use on window sheet and on glass and any surface like that where it needs to dry quickly, unless it's muggy. In the winter, when I have my heat on, it would be dry. But it's just going to take it a minute. But we're going to go on and do everything else on this card and then hope for the best. So let's pull our die cut machine over here. And then I've just got 2 of the dies. We have the globe stand. And then one of the globes, it has two different directions. So if somebody knows going somewhere, you can pick the side of the globe that has the continent that they're going on. I'm gonna roll this through twice because one, it's going through 3 sheets of stuff. It's got the foil, the sticker, and then the sticker backing. But it cuts fine. And when you see how beautiful this is, I do have sticker on my nail, or else it's snail from, I've already done. I created, so the stores in Indiana are open. And you can go get your hair cut, which you've been able to get your hair cut for a few days. But yesterday I went to get my hair done, which, I can be on camera now. I was before, but 4 inches off my hair. Look how pretty that is. And then afterwards, I thought, well, I'll just run over to Home Goods, because Home Goods and TJ Maxx and Marshalls, those are my jam. And they were, well, everything was like 90% of the store was 75% off, and they had on welcome back shirts, and they had clappers and streamers, and when you came into the store they clapped and cheered, and I was there all afternoon. So when I got, my intent had been to shop for a little bit and then come home and stamp. Well, I didn't do any of that. So all of the cards I made today in my live, I came up with in an hour, the hour before we went on. So this was all creating at the last minute. Like, they weren't even in my head. So we're going to take this and we're going to stick it. Do we want the go this way, or do we want, I'm going to go this way because the words that I just stamped are going to go down here and it will fight less with that. So I realized I do better working when I can't go anywhere. Because how many times do we tell ourselves we're just going to shop for a little bit? And I didn't even have time to try on clothes. I would have liked to have tried on some clothes because there were lots of clothes on sale. But there was no time. Okay, let's see how we are on drying. Okay, here's a tip to see if these things have dried. You can see I've done it before. This is how dry they were not. Well, here, let's use this one. This is the paper that comes with it just because window sheet's invisible. So just lay this down and press on it. And then if it isn't dry, obviously you will be able to tell. And if it's just got a little bit of wet, see where those places were wet, then it comes off on there. So now we should be good. Okay. I'm going to put that back into there. So with this fits like this. So you want to put the globe, you need to put it on first. So kind of decide where you want your base to end up, and then kind of put your globe up there, because that's where this is going to have to go. Now look how fabulous the sticker sheets are. Everybody remember when we had these? Because now since you made that a sticker, there's no messing with what glue or how am I going to stick this to the window sheet. In fact, I have done a lot less window sheet stamping because it's been harder to stick them on here without having glue or adhesive or something showing. But now that's just on there perfect. Do the same thing with this. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. Get that off of there. Here we go. It's right the nail I'm looking at. Okay. And then just stick this one on here. It's just so much easier than any of the other kind of adhesives. And then when you go to stick your window sheet on, you also have to be creative, because I want this, the reason I chose window sheet is because who wants to use this and then cover it all up? Because if you cover it all up, then there was no reason to use this beautiful piece of Designer Series paper, because all that was going to show would be the edges. And nobody wants that. We want that really pretty map to show. So you may remember I used these slides. Let's see where I laid the card. I lost everything during my Facebook Live. Oh, I just had that card for you guys. Here it is. So I used these ribbon slides before, the little buckle. This time I'm going to use these corners. So just take them and add some adhesive. I'm just going to use 2 of them. I'm gonna put one in each corner. And when I use the window sheet on top of designer series paper, I cut it a little bit smaller. That way, whoever gets it, it's an obvious that there is a window on top because there's two different textures. It's a really pretty look. My husband is working from home today, but he's actually, they don't have a lot to do, so he's working on a renovation in our master closet. So he's cutting wood. I don't know if you can hear that. He's cutting flooring. He told me it wouldn't be loud, but it sounds kind of loud to me. Now I'm going to take our tiny little dimensionals. He didn't do it while I was on Facebook Live, but he assured me that when I went to YouTube, it wouldn't be that loud. I'm taking the mini dimensionals and putting them just behind any place that's big enough, which is part of the reason I added these to the corner, because it gives me one more spot where I can hide some adhesive. And window sheet is kind of like vellum. It's all about finding some place to adhere that's not going to mess with your overall design of the card, because you don't want to have adhesive showing through on here anywhere. So just pull those off and then flip these over. And look, is this just not stunning? Be a great graduation card, Father's Day card, Boss's Day card. But the texture and the different papers between the foil of the globe and the foil underneath, and then the buckles, and then the window sheet. So here is the blue version, and then the same exact designer series paper with the new cinnamon cardstock. So here's the cinnamon. So there's that. And then the same card again, because you know, now I've made it once on a mock-up and then once on Facebook Live and now for YouTube. Some of our Facebook Live participants are going to get door prizes, and some of the door prizes will be the cards that we've made today. So thankfully I won't be going, having so many of these. I think this one actually may have been my favorite, but this was one of the papers that I was putting in catalogs from this set. So I'm running low on it. So there wasn't a whole lot of, I had to go with the papers that I had, but this is one of the matte papers. So that is my first card that I did on Facebook during my live, and I will be back over the weekend, so check back in. Sometimes when I do these, here's a little behind the scenes anchor tip. Sometimes I go and I change my clothes, or I at least change my bracelets, because if I filmed a few things in one day, I don't want it to look to you all like I've sat in the same chair and I haven't moved and I just kept filming. Here, let me pop the camera back up. So I go and I either change my shirt, or I change, if my face is in it, I change my bracelets. So it at least appears that perhaps it's on a different day. I'm not going to do that today because I'm a little bit lazy. So if my face is in it again, you're going to see the same green shirt. It also helps sometimes if you're like, have I already seen this one? If I don't look the same. But you're going to see the same. I might change my bracelets. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm a little bit lazy today. It's a holiday weekend, right? And I still have to be camera ready to go back on with the other girls. And it'll look funny if on Facebook I've all changed again when they see me later. I don't want to like change and then be back in what I had. So that's a behind the scenes tip. Sometimes I may film 4 videos in one day and I just switch my bracelets or I take them off. So there you go. That's it. But everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend. Bye.